The Nikon Z6 line has always carried the reputation of being the do-it-all camera in Nikon's mirrorless lineup. It isn't the flagship, nor is it the bargain entry model. It's the workhorse in the middle that tries to balance professional features with an accessible price. But with the Nikon Z6 on the horizon, an important question emerges. Will this next-generation camera truly be the best of the best in its class? Or will Nikon Z6 IV fall into the trap of trying to please everyone and satisfy no one? To understand what the Z6 IV is expected to deliver, it's important to take a step back and look at the Z6 III. Released at $2,500, Z6 III immediately signaled a price bump compared to earlier Z6 bodies. Yet it justified that increase by offering features that brought it closer in line with rivals such as Canon's EOS R6 II and Sony's A7 IV. Nikon introduced a partially stacked 24-megapixel sensor, which improved speed and responsiveness without requiring the price of a flagship stacked sensor body. This sensor enabled impressive burst shooting capabilities, 14 frames per second with the mechanical shutter, 20 frames per second with the electronic shutter, and even up to 60 frames per second in JPEG and 120 frames per second in a cropped APS-C mode. On the video side, the Z6 III moved the series into a completely new league. Internal 10-bit capture, 6K NRAW recording at 60p, and 6K ProRes RAW at 30p meant that Nikon had finally given content creators serious tools without forcing them into a Z8 or Z9. The introduction of capture tools like waveform monitors further bridged the gap between still photography and professional-level filmmaking. Autofocus tracking in video, long a weak point in Nikon's mirrorless bodies, finally became reliable enough to compete with Sony's best. Still photography wasn't neglected either, though not everyone agreed it was a total step up. The Nikon Z6 III performed very well in low light and offered dependable autofocus for a wide range of shooting scenarios. Ultimately, the Nikon Z6 established itself as the hybrid Nikon users had been asking for, especially for those needing both stills and video capabilities in one camera. But it also set a high bar, making the upcoming Z6 IV an even trickier release. How do you follow up a camera that already stretched the definition of a mid-tier model? Speculation about the Z6 IV has been unusually divided, with some rumors pointing toward a realistic evolution and others leaning toward more far-fetched ideas. On the more grounded side, several reports suggest Nikon may push the resolution significantly higher, potentially with a new 61-megapixel sensor. If true, this would be more than double the Z6 III's megapixel count and would make the Z6 IV far more appealing to landscape, studio, and commercial shooters who demand fine detail and flexibility in cropping. A 61-megapixel Z6 IV would, however, put it dangerously close to the Z7 series and even into Z8 territory, raising questions about Nikon's product segmentation strategy. The more extreme rumor claims Nikon could be experimenting with a 300-megapixel sensor for the Nikon Z6 IV, which most analysts view as highly unlikely. A jump that massive would require enormous changes to processing power, file handling, buffer performance, and storage systems. Changes that simply don't align with a $2,500 to $3,000 camera aimed at hybrid shooters. More believable is the suggestion that Nikon may introduce a new high-resolution mode via firmware, similar to pixel shift technologies we've seen elsewhere, where the camera could output 200 megapixels plus images when mounted on a tripod. That would provide a best-of-both-worlds approach, keeping file sizes manageable for everyday use while offering ultra-high resolution for special scenarios. On the video side, the rumors are more consistent. The Z6 IV is expected to continue Nikon's momentum by offering flexible 4K frame rates, 60 FPS full sensor readout, and potentially 120 FPS with a crop. While this wouldn't outclass the Z8 or Z9, it would provide enough slow motion and high-quality options for YouTubers, independent filmmakers, and hybrid creators who rely on versatile output. The Z6 IV is also said to retain or improve upon the excellent in-body image stabilization of its predecessor, rumored to provide up to 6 stops of shake reduction. This will matter a lot for handheld shooters, particularly in low light or when capturing video without a gimbal. As for design, expectations lean toward continuity. The Z6 IV will likely maintain the rugged, weather-sealed body style of its predecessors, possibly adding refinements such as an upgraded electronic viewfinder or a fully articulating screen. While some purists dislike the flippy camcorder-style display, it has proven popular with content creators, and Nikon is unlikely to abandon it for a mid-tier hybrid body. A multi-directional tilt mechanism like the Z8 or Z9 might appear on a higher-end Nikon Z7 III, but for the Z6 IV, practicality and broad appeal will probably win out. Pricing is expected to climb slightly, with projections ranging between $2,700 and $3,000. That positions the Z6 IV as a premium mid-tier model, more expensive than the outgoing Z6 III but still more affordable than the Z8. If Nikon delivers significant resolution and video improvements, this price increase could be justified, though it also risks pushing potential buyers toward discounted older models. While the rumors paint an exciting picture, the community has been vocal about what they want from the Z6 IV, and not all of it is realistic. Some photographers have called for a return of the multi-directional tilt screen seen on higher-end models, arguing it is superior for still shooters working at odd angles. Others have asked for a pop-up flash to serve as both a fill light and autofocus assist beam, though history suggests Nikon is done with built-in flashes on anything but entry-level bodies. Perhaps the most controversial suggestion has been to create a stills-only version of the Z6 IV, dropping video features altogether. While appealing to some traditionalists, this idea is almost certainly dead on arrival. Mirrorless technology is inherently hybrid, and the vast majority of buyers in this segment demand video capabilities. Removing them would not only alienate potential customers, but also contradict Nikon's broader strategy of competing with Sony and Canon in the hybrid market. A 45-megapixel semi-stacked sensor has also been floated as a dream scenario, but here again, the issue is overlap. A mid-tier Z6 IV with a 45-megapixel sensor would directly eat into Z7 and Z8 sales, making it unlikely. Instead, Nikon will probably keep the Z6 IV somewhere between 24 megapixels and 33 megapixels, reserving ultra-high resolution for the Z7 line. Another hot topic is memory card slots. Enthusiasts often argue for dual CFX press slots for maximum speed and reliability, but Nikon has consistently balanced cost by offering one CFX press Type B slot paired with an SDU HS2 slot. This setup makes sense for the Z6 IV's target audience. It keeps the body affordable while still giving professionals the option of high-speed recording. Dual CFX press slots will likely remain a privilege of the Nikon Z9 and possibly the Z8. The wishlist debates highlight the core tension of the Z6 IV. Some want it to be a baby Z9 at half the price, while others recognize its role as a balanced hybrid for working photographers and creators who need versatility above all else. Nikon has to thread that needle carefully. The Nikon Z6 stands at a crossroads. On one side is the legacy of the Z6 III, a camera that set new standards for hybrid performance in its class. On the other are rumors of dramatic upgrades, sensors that could leap to 61 megapixels or more, improved stabilization, expanded video features, and refined design elements. And in between lies the reality of what Nikon can realistically deliver without cannibalizing its higher-end models. So, will the Nikon Z6 IV be the best of the best? That depends on how you define it. For photographers hoping for a mini Z9 at half the cost, expectations may need to be tempered. But for the vast majority of users who want a single camera that can shoot weddings, events, landscapes, YouTube videos, and cinematic projects with equal confidence, the Nikon Z6 IV has every chance to become the most balanced and compelling mirrorless camera in Nikon's lineup. The answer will arrive soon enough, but for now, anticipation remains sky high. Share your wishlist for us in the comments below. Subscribe for more content like this, and as always, thanks for watching.